What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What is up? What is good? And what is Poppington? It is your girl, True Mystique. And in today's video, I am going to be showing you the basics of ChatGPT prompting. So if you want to learn how to get your ChatGPT prompts to not suck or suck a little bit less and get the most out of your prompting experience, please, 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 please watch this video to the very end. You are not going to want to miss it. So I know you guys hear me ranting and raving and carrying on about ChatGPT, me making dope prompts that help me figure out a creative problem that I had. And essentially, coming up with a good ChatGPT prompt or a good prompt for any type of large language model comes down to 5 main principles, and I am going to show you those 5 main principles today to take you from prompting 0 to hero. So, with that being said, let's get our prompts to not suck and let's get our prompts to do it what we want for it to do, and let's learn the basics of ChatGPT prompting. So before I get started, please, please, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and press that bell button so that you can be notified whenever I drop a new video and so that you can be notified whenever I drop more videos like this. This is definitely going to be a new series that I'm going to incorporate on my channel, and I hope you guys like it. Okay, so before we get started, I am going to just take it from the baby steps, like the woo-doo-doo, the very beginning. I am going to assume that this is your first time using ChatGPT and you have never seen a screen like this before. And if this screen is completely new to you, I can already assume that you have never subscribed to OpenAI. So before you even get here, right, on this platform, you need to go to openai.com and you're going to have to apply for a free account. Okay. Get you an account. It's free to start. It's not going to cost you anything. And then it's going to take you to chat.openai.com. And then when you get to chat.openai.com, it is going to give you this screen right here. Now, this is the plus version. So because I'm a little bit bougie, I did opt for the plus version. And you see, you have ChatGPT 3.5, which is the turbo or the base model, and ChatGPT 4, which is the newer version that has now the internet capability and the capability for you to use plugins. But for right now, we're going to stick to the base model. Okay. We don't need the extra fancy stuff in ChatGPT 4. Okay. So now that you're here, let's talk about what it takes to make a good prompt. Okay, so the first tip that I have for you is, what is the purpose of the prompt? What do you want the prompt to do? Now, ChatGPT can help you with a lot of things. Now, it can't help you with everything. It can't, give you the cure to cancer. It can't just magically give you $1 million. It can't clean your house for you. Now, there's some limitations about what it can do, but for the most part, it can do a lot. So all you have to tell ChatGPT what to do is, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to generate a blog post? Do you want it to help you with a newsletter? Do you want it to help you create an email? Do you want it to help you write an essay? Do you want it to give you some tips for exercises? Do you want it to help you with some recipes or to craft something? Whatever it is that you want for it to do, just tell it what you want it to do. It sounds simple, right? So let's say that I want to generate a blog post. So please generate ideas for blog posts for me. Okay. So now you see that it's coming up with, it gave me a list of 15 ideas. So a beginner's guide to starting a workout, tips and tricks, 10 essential exercises for beginners, getting started on your fitness journey, finding your motivation, how to stay inspired. So this gave me a good list. So now that we have ideas for blog posts, let's ask it to take one of these blog posts and create an outline. You create an outline for idea number 1. And here it is. It's going to give you an outline. A beginner's guide to starting a workout, tips and tricks. Gives you an introduction and it gives you bullet points for each. See, it gave you a good basis. This is going to be the H1 heading, the top heading, and then this is going to be H2 introduction, and then it's going to give you bullet points, more subheadings, bullet points, subheadings, bullet points, subheadings, bullet points, etc. And it gave you about nine, it looks like nine paragraphs. So this could be a pretty good long form piece of content. And then after you generate an outline, you can even go further. Can you generate blog post from this H1? And here's the entire blog post with a H1, which is this is the H1, which is the main title, and this is the H2, which are subtitles. And it literally just gave you the format of a blog post. Okay. So sometimes it's going to tell you to continue generating because it does cut itself off. Just if you find that it gets cut off, just continue generating over here, that button, and it's going to give you the rest of the response. And as you can see, very simple. We first asked it to generate blog posts, and then we asked it to generate an outline for an idea, and then we used the prompt to basically generate a blog post from this with the optimized headline. And for the most part, it sounds really, really, really and looks really, really, really good. Okay. Okay. Now, the second tip that I have for you is to keep the prompt as specific as possible. The more focused that you can get the prompt, the better the results will be. So, we're going back into this and let's generate another chat. Instead of just saying, "Oh, can you just generate some blog posts?" Or instead of just give me a list of blog post ideas, you can be specific with the amount of blog posts or the ideas that you want them to get. Now, instead of just saying in general, "Oh, ChatGPT, can you just give me a list of ideas?" You can ask ChatGPT to give you a specific number of ideas. Okay. So I asked it, can you generate a list of 5 different low carb and keto recipes for me? I'm trying to lose weight in my midsection and need recipes that can aid in weight loss and a less caloric deficit. Please give me some suggestions on the type of food that can decrease bloating and excessive weight in that midsection area. So that's more of a specific prompt. It's not just me asking Chat GPT, oh, give me just a list of low carb and keto recipes. I gave it the amount of recipes that I wanted it to generate to me, and I was also very specific in what it is that I wanted to achieve with those types of recipes. I said I wanted to lose my midsection, then I needed recipes that can aid in weight loss and lessen caloric deficit, and give some suggestions of the food that can decrease bloating. Now, this is more along the lines of health. So if you're asking ChatGPT to help you more along so the lines of health, I would go and also consult with a doctor before you take this as gospel. But if you're just looking on, how to change your diet, it does give you a good start and a good foundation. But you see how specific I was with this. Specificity with your prompts is key. Let's see what it gives. Continue generating. Okay, so let's see what it gave me. It says here are 5 low carb and keto recipes that can help with weight loss and reducing bloating in the midsection. This gives me grilled lemon herb chicken with zucchini noodles. And it gave me a list of the ingredients and it gave me the instructions on how to cook it. And then it gave me baked salmon with roasted asparagus. These look good. I'm not gonna lie. I might actually use these for myself. Yeah. Egg and vegetable muffins. I'm not really an egg person, but you see, the more specific that you are with it, the better the prompts will be. And it also gives you a warning at the end. It says these recipes are low in carbohydrates and high in protein and healthy fats, making them suitable for a keto and weight loss diet. Remember to consult with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian for personalized advice regarding your weight loss or dietary goals. The same thing that I said. Okay. So number 2 was keeping the prompt specific. And another thing that can help is role playing. When you want the ChatGPT to act as a type of professional, that also helps you with getting a very, very, very good prompt. Let's show an example of role playing. So we're going to go back here and go to the new chat. Role playing. Let's see. What should I role play as? I don't know. I was just coming up with something on the fly. I said, pretend that you are a digital marketer that has 10 years of experience in the field. Can you come up with an ideal customer avatar for a company that sells high end, high fashion, high heel stiletto boots? They bougie. Can you tell me the demographics, geographics, and psychographics of the ideal avatar that would want this product? What would be the best avenue to capture their attention with an ad or a lead? Can you also come up with a list of emotional triggers that would cause them to want to buy this product? I was just BSing with this, but let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so this basically just gave you an entire ideal customer avatar. So it says Sophia Anderson. The name is really irrelevant. Age is targeting ages 30 to 45, gender female, occupation corporate executive or successful entrepreneur, income high income bracket, relationship status single or married, education college degree or higher, interests fashion, luxury brands, social events, networks, fine dining. Geographics is urban areas with a vibrant fashion scene, such as major cities or fashion capitals like New York, Paris, London, Milan, etc. Psychographics, they are fashion conscious, stays updated with latest trends, image content, conscious, values personal style, confidence, embraces femininity, and appreciates power and allure of high heels, socially active. Okay. To capture the attention of this ideal customer avatar, the best avenues for advertising or lead generation would include social media advertising, Instagram and Facebook, influencer marketing, collaborate with fashion influencers and bloggers, fashion magazines, fashion events, or exclusive online communities, emotional triggers, status and prestige, confidence and empowerment, elegance and sophistication, attention and compliments, limited availability. By targeting the right audience and effectively leveraging these emotional triggers, the company can capture the attention and desire of the ideal customer avatar and increase the likelihood of them wanting to buy the high end stiletto boots. Okay, so that is essentially what the role playing prompt does. And role playing can definitely help you if you are in a particular field and you just need some clarity on what direction you want to go and the answers that you want ChatGPT to give you. So if you're a professional or if you are a business owner, the role playing model definitely, definitely, definitely will work to your benefit. So that's number 2A. So, number 3, the third tip that I have for you is to give a little bit or a lot of bit of background information about your topic. And the more background information, the better. Okay. So this was just something that I just came up just with out the blue, just to give you an example of background information. So I said, okay, I'm writing a book about how one can heal from traumatic events in their life and transform that into something positive that can help others in their life. As a person who suffered from depression in childhood and was anxious and angry all the time about their life situation, I always thought happiness wasn't something that I was able to achieve, but I had to take a look at myself in the mirror and believe that happiness was a choice. If I wanted my life to be better, I had to make it so myself. I went through years of therapy, affirmations, prayer, and healing to get to this point. Can you write an excerpt that gives someone going through a similar life struggle the hope that they can get through very dark times? Let's see what this gives me. Let's see. From the looks of it, this actually looks pretty decent. Dang. From the looks of this, this looks very, 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 very poetic. My lord. Wow. Wow. This gave a very damn powerful excerpt based off of this. And this goes to show you that the more background information that you give it, especially when it comes to like writing, the more creative it can be. Like, this is, like, really, 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 really powerful. Okay, so the 4th tip that I have for creating a very, 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 very good prompt is to be clear and concise. If you are ambiguous with what it is that you are giving ChatGPT, it will give you wonky results and it will not act as it is intended. You will get very, 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 very frustrated with the responses that you get if you are not clear and concise with your wording. Sometimes, if you word things a certain way, ChatGPT, it will get confused. In working on a couple of my prompts and in working on a prompt that I'm going to show you guys on Thursday, I guess it got confused with, the way I worded some things. Like if you're open ended or if you just worded something wrong, it gets confused. So you just have to keep on iterating and iterating and iterating until it is clear and concise and until you get the good response that you want. And I don't think we have to do another example. I think that this example right here is a good example of what it is exactly that you want it to give you. This is clear. You're writing a book about how you can heal from traumatic events and transform that into something positive. And you asked it, can you write it an excerpt to give someone who's going through something similar hope? And it gave you exactly what it is, that you wanted. Same thing with the previous prompt. It's clear and concise. You're a digital marketer that has 10 years of experience. Come up with an ideal customer avatar, demographics, geographics, psychographics, avenue to capture their attention with an ad or a lead, and a list of triggers that will want them to buy the product. It's clear, it's concise, it's to the point. Low carb, keto recipe. Again, generate a list of low carb diet recipes. You're trying to lose weight and you need recipes that can aid in weight loss and caloric deficit. And the food needs to be able to decrease bloating and excessive weight in the midsection area. It's clear, it's concise, it's straight to the point. It's not leading anything up for interpretation. Because if you leave something open ended, you're leaving it up for interpretation. And what ChatGPT is going to interpret from that is it's not going to give you the result that you want. So just be sure that you are just clear and concise and you're not leaving anything up for interpretation. And if that happens, the fifth and the final tip that I have for you is to play with it and interact with it. Ask it follow up questions such as, do you understand the prompt? Or do you have any suggestions on what can be improved? Now, what ChatGPT does a good job at is it does a very good job at collaboration. If you're willing and open enough to chat with ChatGPT and ask it for input, especially creatively, it's going to do a pretty decent job at giving you input right back. And the more follow-up questions you give it, the better the prompt will be. So it would actually be in your best interest to continuously give it follow-up prompts. So just so you can be sure that it's giving you exactly what it is that you want. And if it isn't giving you what it is that you want, because there is going to be time periods where, it's going to act funky and it's not going to give you what you want and it's not going to react in the way that you thought it would, just ask it, do you understand? Or if there's something that you just need to clarify. So let's see. That's something that I'm definitely going to be sharing in my live stream on Thursday. Okay, so I basically asked ChatGPT to pretend as if you are an ethics professor. I need to take a final exam for a capstone course. Can you provide me with a list of 10 questions for me to answer? Can you give me a test composed of fill in the blank, multiple choice, open ended, and direct questions? But do not state the type of questions in the question. Please ask me these questions one at a time and do not proceed until I answer the question. Let me know if the answer is correct or incorrect. Do you understand the directions that I am giving you? Please answer yes or no. If not, let me know what you need clarification with. Okay. So it says yes. I understand the directions you have provided. I will create a list of 10 questions for you, comprising filling in the blank, multiple choice, open ended, and direct questions. I will ask you questions on one at a time and provide feedback, whether your answer is correct or incorrect. Let's begin with the first question. Okay. So if it tells you something like this, it basically is letting you know that it does understand the questions you are giving. Sometimes the problem lies when you have a long ended prompt, and sometimes with long-ended or prompts that have, like, multiple pieces, it does end up getting confused on what it is that you're telling it. I did something similar to this a couple of days ago and asked it to give me basically a mock test based on information I gave it. And it completely just ignored some of the directives that I gave it. And I had to go back in and I said, "Remember, I told you to do this and I told you to do that." And he said, "Yes, my apologies. I do recall that you said that you wanted to do this, and then it will try to fix it." So you just have to keep in mind with longer prompts or prompts with like other types of informations, be careful because it could forget. Like I said, it does a good job at giving you, what it is that you tell it to give you, but it's still not perfect and you do need to iterate if need be. So I have not taken ethics in about 7 years, so I'm not going to even bother answering this question. So I'm just going to say I'm not sure. You said the branch of ethics that deals with the study of right and wrong conduct is called normative ethics. Okay, so with the following ethical theories focuses on consequence or I'm just gonna say D for craps and giggles. C utilitarianism. Yeah, I have not taken ethics since my senior year of college, so Imma leave that alone. That's been about like 7, 8 years, so Imma leave that alone. But yeah. So that is my lesson on getting your chat GPT prompts right and tight and not sucky. That's how you get your chat GPT prompts to essentially be good prompts and taking it from garbage responses to responses that you can actually use and utilize in your everyday life. You just really, really, really have to be careful on what it is that you're giving it because you have to understand that if you put garbage into ChatGPT, you're going to get garbage out. So the quality of your prompts really, really matters. And then when you really like sit down and you get really good at cultivating prompts, you got it. You really have it. So let's go over the 5-ish tips for generating good prompts. Number 1, you need a purpose for your prompt. What do you want it to do? What goal do you want it to achieve, right? Number 2, you need to keep the prompt as specific as possible. Focused prompts yield much better results. Don't be all over the place with your prompt. Try to keep it streamlined and straight and narrow, and that's going to give you good results. 2A, role playing helps. Ask the model to pretend as if it's a professional in a particular field and give it some background information with that, and it will be more concise with the responses that it gives you. Number 3, again, give background information about your topic. The more background information you give it, the better your results are going to be. Number 4, be clear and concise. Ambiguity is not going to give you the results that you want, and your responses are not going to act as intended. And finally, number 5, play and interact and iterate with it. Ask it follow-up questions such as, "Do you understand? Do you have any suggestions on how this content can be improved?" And ladies and gentlemen, if you follow those tips and you keep on practicing and you keep on working on your prompt engineering skills, just the basics of it, you will become a chat GPT prompt engineering pro. But I'm going to also leave you with a couple of other tips. You must always, 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 always fact check. Never take what ChatGPT gives you as face value. Always put your own spin on it and add your own style to it. Don't just take it, copy paste it, and put it on a platform. No, go over it. Make sure that it sounds good. Make sure that's effective. If you're writing it for like a personal blog or like a newsletter or using for a script for YouTube, because you can do that. Make sure it sounds like you. And if you are using it for, professional things such as school, don't copy and paste. Don't cheat. Okay. Don't do that. I'm not encouraging y'all to cheat. Okay. And take the easy way. No, 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 no. Chat GPT and things of the like are guides to help you. They're not going to do the work for you, and they're not here to do the work for you. You need to do right by it and always act with integrity whenever you're using this type of information. Now, when I say add your own style to it, you also need to make it written to make it sound more human like. Now, it does do a decent job at making it sound human like, but it's not 100% human-like. I say use words like perplexity and burstiness. That has to do with the complexity and the types of sentencing and the sentence structure that we use. Sometimes we use long sentences and then short sentences. Sometimes we use big words, sometimes we use small words. It depends on us as people. So you want to try to, make it sound more human-like than it actually does, and even run it through the numerous amount of AI detected content software, because there are a lot of AI detection softwares that you can use. Pick one. And the last thing that I'm going to leave off with is when you have prompts, sometimes you'll see what's called a token call, which just it basically means that it does cost money to run a prompt. It's relatively cheap. It costs like around like 1/100th of a penny, you know. And when you first start off with OpenAI does give you like $18 worth of credits to start off for free. That's actually a lot of money to start with. So if you're only using it for really, really, really basic things, I highly, 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 highly doubt that you're gonna run through $18 pretty quickly. You won't, and you really shouldn't, you know. And if you don't know what a token is, basically what a token is a token is a neat combination of four characters. So what's a character? A character is a letter, a number, exclamation points, or any type of grammatical symbols or spaces. So one token equals four characters. So just to keep that in mind when it talks about tokens, that's just how many of those sets of four characters are required to make it run. Going back to fact checking. The reason why you must always fact check is because ChatGPT, particularly 3.5, is not connected to the internet. Now, it is based on things that were on the internet from 2021 and prior, but it's not hooked up to the live internet. So it's not going to always produce the most accurate information. It's not going to produce the most up to date information. And basically, how this type of software is generated, it's actually generated by probability. It's not necessarily generated based on what makes the most sense. It's generated based on what token or those four characters are more likely to appear after a certain token or another four set of characters has been implemented. So that's another reason why it might sound good, but it doesn't mean that it's actually giving you the correct information. So that's another reason why you need to always fact check. Okay, so with that being said, I really do hope that you beautiful people took something and you learned something from this tutorial. And if you like this little series, I will be more than happy to do more. I have a list of series with ChatGPT videos that I want to do for you guys. And I'm really, really excited on where I want to take this channel. And I'm so glad that now I've gotten to a space where I can really, really, really be focused. With that being said, it's your girl True Mystique, aka the Golden Enigma, aka the Real. And be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and press that bell button so that you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. And just be on the lookout for Thursday and stay tuned for my live on my ebook prompt for ChatGPT. And with that being said, my beautiful people, I'm out. Peace.